In less than about 11 or 12 hours, Chennai and three neighboring districts, which is Tiruvallur, Kanchipuram, and Chengalpattu, are going to go into an intensified lockdown. It's going to begin after midnight tonight and going to go all the way up to the end of the month, June 30, midnight. This lockdown has been necessitated because of the spike in coronavirus cases across Tamil Nadu, but largely in Chennai. The number has crossed 50,000 now, with Chennai accounting over 35,000 of the cases on itself. The state of Tamil Nadu also recorded the highest daily spike yesterday. So in a sense, the lockdown seems timely. But why is there such a rise in cases? What is going wrong in Chennai? I'm going to turn to our senior journalist M.R. Subramani, who's in Chennai, for answers. Subramani, can you give us your thoughts on what's going wrong?
What's going wrong, I would say what is going right in another way. But the problem actually is that the administration has lost grip of the whole proceedings as regards Chennai is concerned. If you see, until the end of April, I think everything was under control. But, after May or towards the end of April and then from the start of May, everything has gone haywire as regards Chennai and its suburbs. This is particularly because I think Chennai didn't observe the lockdown regulations properly. One big problem, or I would call it a major folly or mistake by Tamil Nadu government as well as the Greater Chennai Corporation is to not enforce the lockdown at the Coimbatore vegetable, fruits and flower markets. It is the main hub of vegetables, fruits and flowers for Chennai. Now, from 25th of March, when the lockdown was brought into force, until at least April 30, this market was kept open, and this is the single source of coronavirus spread in Chennai, in Chengalpattu, Kanchipuram and Tiruvallur. Basically, the government failed to enforce there, and what has happened is, see, when you are a law enforcer, you will have to go and enforce the law. You tell them, see, there's a lockdown, you need to get out. You need to shut this and move out. But what has happened is, throughout these, say from 25th of March till at least end of April, the police and the authorities were pleading with the vendors in Coimbatore to shift out or do something, but they were not listening. Now, why should you plead with somebody to enforce law? Right? There is a law. You have brought in the Epidemic Disaster Act. You have brought the Disaster Management Act. So many acts have been brought into force and said these will be enforced. So why haven't you enforced the law? So that needs to be probed, and that is a huge failure on part of Chennai and Tamil Nadu. Also, what happened was, during April, there was a lockdown within lockdown from April 26 to 29. 3 days or 4 days, 26, 27, 28, 4 days. What happened was, it was announced all of a sudden on 24th evening. So on 25th morning, almost the entire Chennai was out on the streets buying their needs for the next 4 days. That has also contributed. So these two are major, I would call a major failures on the part of government.
Right. Subramani sir, the Chief Minister has also attributed this spread of the virus to a lot of congestion and narrow streets and the nature of Chennai city, which is that high population density. But what do you think about that?
See, the Chief Minister has a point when he says Chennai has problems with high density, more number of people within a square kilometer or square meter. This is especially true in North Madras regions like Tandayarpete, Royapuram, Tivikanaga. These are all fairly congested. Also, Central Madras places like Tenampet, Kodambakam, these are highly congested places. Agreed, the Chief Minister has a point. But my issue is, why hasn't the chief minister ensured that the law has been, the regulations have not been enforced strictly? Again, that we go, I mean, the whole issue takes you back to Coimbatore. Why did he let Coimbatore open? Because every day we had at least 10,000 people visiting the market. And if I were to go by people who had gone there and come back, they were saying the crowd was even more than what you would see for normal days. See, what happened was lockdown, so most of the offices were not there. So all these people thought they would spend their time in Coimbatore. So everyone was flocking Coimbatore in the market. Police, Chennai police said they would stop, they would not allow any vehicles, especially two-wheelers, after 7 a.m. Now that is, again, I don't know how wise that decision is, because the market is open early in the morning, and by 7 o'clock, almost the trading gets over. Now, what made police to say that they would do it from 7 a.m. and why not start it, say, 3 a.m. or even 2:30 a.m.? Because the market is up and live at 2 in the morning. You go there at 2 in the morning, you can see how active it is. So, what made them not to really act on these things? And he says congested area. Let me give an example of how poor, again, they were in enforcing. Now, I'll quote only one example here, and I think that is enough to say how poor enforcement agencies were, or how poorly the law was enforced. There is this 3rd Street in Netaji Nagar in Thandiyaarpet. Now, in the 3rd Street, there were a couple of people who tested positive after they returned from the Tablighi congregation in Nizamuddin. So, when police tried to put the barricade, they were attacked. The health department officials were attacked. And within a week, again, when police tried to enforce the lockdown or make that a containment zone and make things difficult for people to move in and move out, police were attacked. Now, if you see the consequence, the number of coronavirus positive people in Thandiyaarpet is almost touching 5,000. Something with Raipuram. Raipuram is highly congested area. They had let the people loose there. People flock to the fish market there. Every morning they go. And now Raipuram is the highest, has reported the highest number of COVID positive in Chennai. It's about 5,500 right now. These two areas are, I would call the tip of the iceberg where they have gone wrong in enforcing. See, even when you are enforcing, when somebody attacks you, why were government officials allowed to be attacked? You should tell them that this can't be taken lying down. I don't think that they have done anything. No, we are not looking into who attacked and other things. But why, there was no proper follow-up action, and I don't think anybody has been really even pulled to the court or arrested as regards the attack on the police in Thandiyaarpet.
Right. Sir, also taking from what you are saying, it seems like there's been a lackadaisical attitude on the part of citizens in Chennai, because speaking from my experience here in Bangalore, the cases seem to have been low in large part because people are being able to sort of maintain precautions. What's happening in Chennai with respect to that?
No, Chennai also, the cooperation from the public has been not forthcoming. They're not very serious about the whole issue. I hope the seriousness is now sinking in. The seriousness has sunk in, say, in the last 7 to 10 days, especially after the death of the DMK MLA Jay Anbalagan. And then yesterday we had one of the senior advisors in the Chief Minister's office dying because of COVID. A police official has died because of coronavirus yesterday. So the number of deaths are rising. In the last, on June 16 and 17, the total number of deaths in Tamil Nadu is around 97, and 79 of those deaths have taken place in Chennai. So until now, Chennai people, some of them wouldn't be properly, they won't take proper precautions. They won't have gloves. They won't have, masks when they're going out. They think, what is Corona going to do to us? That has been the attitude. And I hope that, I'm sure that many people would have seen a video that had come from neighboring Pondicherry, where 2 guys were pulled up and shown what coronavirus could do to them. That is only a sample, but similar such incidents have taken place all all over Tamil Nadu. And then the spitting takes place. And I've had some of my friends who have called up to say that, spitting still continues, which is still a problem as far as coronavirus is concerned. So, I mean, people have not realized how they have to be very hygienic they have to maintain a good hygiene during this condition. They have to follow precautions. They'll have to be very careful. And you know what? It is during this time they find more time to visit shops. They want to eat more. They want to wear more. So it's total, what I could say is total ignorance. See, why should people flock the fish market or the vegetable market for this thing when the situation is so bad? Without observing all these the restrictions or the guidelines that are for coronavirus, almost all of them were flocking to markets without even they were not following the 6 feet distance and other things. I mean, poor following. So that has contributed a lot. That is why you see now people wanting to run away from Chennai to other parts of the state. And if you go to the other parts of the state, if you say you're from Chennai, they would want to kick you out of that place. It's happening, and though some people are going from Chennai to other places using operators, and these operators are, how they operate. It's all clandestinely done.
Right. Subramani sir, what impact is this having on the state economy also? I'd like to ask you, because the Chief Minister has sought about rupees 9,000 crore of assistance to fight COVID-19, and plus all people in Chennai say going back to their hometowns. What do you see happening in terms of the economy of the state?
See, the problem with the economy is now after it looked like recovering, Chennai and its suburbs are going into an intensive lockdown for 12 days, where again only government offices and banks are going to be, central government and state government offices will have 30% of the staff. Banks are not going to function until June 28th. So that is a sort of setback. Manufacturing industries are running at a lower strength. Manufacturing is happening, but at a lower strength. IT doesn't seem to have a problem because most of them are working from home. So that is not an issue. And what is happening is the other impact that has happened is now Chennai and its citizens particularly are having to pay more for their daily commodities. The market, Coimbatore market is closed now. It has to come from a nearby place on the Bangalore-Chennai highway. But the issue is there are not many, most of the traders who were earlier in Coimbatore are now jobless. That means a fewer number of shops, fewer arrivals of fruits and vegetables. So that has led to sort of rise in the prices of vegetables, fruits. That is also affecting the economy to some extent.
I guess one place where maybe where credit is due, I think the state is testing more than any other state in the country. I think Maharashtra is reporting so many cases, and even then Tamil Nadu is testing even more than them. I think that's one area where maybe they're on the right track. And hopefully this lockdown can help them contain the spread of people, and as a result of that, the virus. Thank you so much, Subramani sir, for joining us on today's show.